I'll write the script now. If you wake up tired every single morning, even after 7 or 8 hours in bed, I want you to stay with me for the next few minutes, because the reason is almost never what you've been told. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what's stealing your energy in the dark and the simple way men over 45 are starting to fix it. And there's one specific thing I'm going to share near the end that quietly drains more morning energy than anything else on this list. So don't click away before you hear it. Here's the truth most men my age were never told. Waking up exhausted isn't a character flaw. It's not laziness. It's not just getting older. It's a signal. Your body is trying to tell you something, the same way a warning light flashes on your dashboard. And when you ignore that light for years, the way a lot of us do, you start to believe that dragging yourself out of bed, reaching for the third cup of coffee before 9, and feeling foggy until noon is just normal. It's common. But common is not the same thing as normal, and it's definitely not the same thing as healthy. So let me walk you through what's actually happening while you sleep, because once you see the machinery, you can start to fix it. The first piece is the one everyone thinks they understand, and almost nobody actually does. Sleep. Not how long you sleep, but how deeply. See, a lot of men over 45 are spending plenty of hours in bed, but they're getting almost no deep restorative sleep. The kind where your body actually repairs muscle, balances hormones, and clears the brain. As we age, the amount of deep sleep we get naturally drops. By the time many men hit their 50s, they're getting a fraction of the deep sleep they got at 25. And here's the part that matters. You can be unconscious for 8 hours and still wake up feeling like you wrestled a bear all night because your body never dropped into the gear where real recovery happens. What pushes you out of deep sleep? A few quiet culprits. The big one is your blood sugar, and I'll come back to that because it's huge. Another is your bedroom being too warm. Your core temperature needs to drop a degree or two for deep sleep to kick in. So a cool, dark room, think 65, 67 degrees, can make a real difference. Another is alcohol. I know that glass of wine or that nightcap feels like it relaxes you, and it does help you fall asleep faster, but it absolutely wrecks the back half of your night. It blocks the deep stages and fragments everything after about 2 a.m. So if you're a man who falls asleep fine but wakes up at 3 and stares at the ceiling, or wakes up groggy, that evening drink may be a bigger factor than you think. And then there's breathing. This is one a lot of men over 45 don't want to hear, but I'd be doing you a disservice if I skipped it. As we age and carry a little more weight around the middle and neck, the airway can partially collapse during sleep, and you stop breathing for short stretches, dozens or even hundreds of times a night, without ever fully waking up. You don't remember it, but your body panics every single time, spikes your stress hormones, and yanks you out of deep sleep. If you snore loudly, if your partner says you gasp or go quiet, if you wake up with a dry mouth or a headache, this is worth talking to a professional about. Fixing it can be genuinely life-changing for your energy, your heart, and your mind. Now let's talk about the second pillar, and this is the one that ties directly into being a man over 45. Hormones. Specifically, testosterone and cortisol, and the dance between them. Testosterone isn't just about the gym or the bedroom. It's one of the master regulators of male energy, mood, motivation, and how rested you feel. And here's something most men don't realize. Your testosterone is highest in the morning. It's actually produced and released heavily during deep sleep. So when your sleep quality falls apart, your testosterone production takes a hit, and lower testosterone makes your sleep even worse. It's a downward spiral, and a lot of men are stuck in it without knowing why. They just feel flat, unmotivated, tired in a way coffee can't touch. From your late 30s onward, testosterone tends to decline gradually, and poor sleep, stress, and belly fat all accelerate it. On the other side of that hormonal seesaw is cortisol, your stress hormone. Now, cortisol isn't the villain it's made out to be. You actually need a healthy pulse of it in the morning. That natural rise is what's supposed to wake you up, clear and ready. But when you're under chronic stress, when you're running hot for months or years, that rhythm gets flipped. Your cortisol stays high at night when it should be low, keeping you wired and unable to drop into deep sleep, and then it's flat in the morning when you need it to lift you up. That's why you can feel exhausted at 7 a.m. and weirdly wired at 11 p.m. Your internal clock has been knocked out of alignment, and that misalignment is a direct, measurable cause of waking up tired. And if you want faster, longer-lasting results, I've put the exact natural support I recommend in the link below this video. It's the same approach I'm walking you through here, made simple so you don't have to piece it together on your own. Now, the third pillar, and this is the one I promised, would quietly drain more morning energy than almost anything else: blood sugar. Stay with me, because this connects everything. Most men think blood sugar is only a concern if you're diabetic. Not true. What happens overnight with your blood sugar can make or break your morning, even if your numbers look fine at the doctor. Here's the mechanism. If you eat a big carb-heavy meal late in the evening, a lot of bread, pasta, sugar, dessert, your blood sugar spikes, and then a few hours later, right in the middle of the night, it crashes. And when it crashes, your body treats it as an emergency. It dumps adrenaline and cortisol to pull that sugar back up. Those are the exact stress hormones that rip you out of deep sleep. So you might wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, heart going, mind racing, with no idea why. Or you sleep through it but wake up groggy and craving sugar because your body's been on a hormonal roller coaster all night while you thought you were resting. This is why so many men feel tired in the morning and then reach for coffee and a sweet pastry, which spikes them again, which crashes them by 11, and the whole cycle repeats every single day. Fixing your blood sugar rhythm is one of the most powerful things you can do for steady, all-day energy, and it's completely within your control. So let's get practical, because understanding the problem is only half of it. Let me give you the steps men are using to turn this around naturally. Start with light. Within 30 minutes of waking, get outside and get sunlight in your eyes, even on a cloudy day. This is the single most underrated energy tool there is. Morning light tells your brain to set your internal clock, which lifts your cortisol at the right time, and crucially, sets a timer so melatonin releases on schedule that night. 10 minutes of morning light can improve the depth of your sleep that same evening. It's free and it works. Second, move your body, but you don't need to punish yourself. A brisk 10 or 15-minute walk, ideally in that morning light, does double duty. It sharpens your insulin sensitivity, which helps control that blood sugar roller coaster, and it reinforces your natural rhythm. Strength training a few times a week is one of the best things a man over 45 can do for his testosterone and his sleep, but start where you are. Third, protect the last 3 hours before bed. This is your recovery window. Stop eating heavy meals late. If you're hungry, lean toward protein and fat rather than a pile of carbs, so your blood sugar stays level through the night. Cut the alcohol, or at least move it earlier and lighter. Dim the lights. Get off the bright screens, or at least turn the brightness way down, because that blue light at night tells your brain it's still daytime and blocks the melatonin you need. Fourth, get your minerals right. Magnesium is involved in hundreds of processes in the body, including the ones that calm your nervous system and support deep sleep, and a lot of men are running low without knowing it. Foods like leafy greens, nuts, and seeds can help. Vitamin D, which is really a hormone, is linked to both healthy testosterone and good sleep, and many men over 45 are deficient, especially if they're indoors most of the day. These aren't magic, but get the foundations covered, and your body has what it needs to do its job. And fifth, manage the load. Chronic stress is what keeps cortisol high at night. You don't have to meditate on a mountaintop. Even 5 minutes of slow breathing before bed, in through the nose, slow and low, longer on the exhale, can shift your body out of that wired state and into the rest and recover mode where deep sleep lives. Here's what I want you to take away. Waking up tired is not your destiny, and it's not just age. It's a set of signals: sleep depth, hormones, and blood sugar, and every one of them responds when you give your body the right inputs. Most men feel a real difference within a couple of weeks of getting these basics right. You are not broken. Your body is waiting for you to lead it. So if you take one thing from today, let it be this. Tomorrow morning, get that light, take that short walk, and protect your evening tonight. Small moves, repeated, change everything. And if you're ready to make this easier and get there faster, the natural support I personally recommend is waiting for you in the link below this video. Go check it out and give your body the head start it deserves. You've got more energy, more strength, and more good years in you than you've been led to believe. Start tonight, stay consistent, and let your mornings come back to life. Take care of yourself, my friend. You're worth the effort. And remember, this is general educational information, not medical advice. So always check with your own healthcare provider before making changes, especially if you have a condition or take medication.